Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a quick look at AMD. The stock price is down over 4.8% as I am recording this episode, and we're going to take a quick look at why. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for free Discord, free newsletter, and a lot of great investing links. And for those not familiar, today AMD did present at CES, and they released a few new products, which I thought were pretty cool. At the same time, none of these products were kind of mind-blowing. And I think that unfortunately that's what is kind of happening right now. I feel sometimes investors put high expectations on upcoming news. They expect some of these companies to release some crazy new products that would drive stock prices up. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Another thing that I could see happening is we can see here taking a look at a semiconductor ETF. Semiconductor ETF SMH is down about 2.2%, so it can also be the market kind of moving down. So like I mentioned, AMD today presented at CES, and for those not familiar with CES, this is the Consumer Electronics Show. So what would one be expecting to see in this type of show if AMD is presenting? Obviously expecting to see more products kind of pushing into the consumer world, maybe in consumer laptops and maybe in consumer desktops. Obviously you will not see anything dealing with data centers. There might be sometimes, but more than likely you're not expected to see anything hitting like the data center markets, for example. And that's exactly what happened during the show. I believe a lot of great new products came out, and we'll take a quick look at what. But before, I want to show just, hey, how important is the consumer world to AMD? And we can see in their most recent earnings, which they reported October 26th, they had about $4.3 billion in revenue, and that was up 54%, right? A record revenue for them. And if we can see out of that $4.3 billion in revenue, 2.4, so more than half, comes from the computing and graphics segment. This segment includes mainly consumer products. It definitely has some form of data center graphics, as we can see here, but that's still a small portion of this company's total revenue. So we can see a good portion of revenue comes from the consumer market. Even though it might not be as interesting, for example, as the data center, is still very important for AMD. So now let's take a quick look at some other products. Like I mentioned, they're mainly kind of released products that are dealing with laptops and desktops. And the first thing they released was their new mobile processor, the AMD 6000 series. Here they show that, hey, compared to our previous generation, the 5000 series, we're seeing strong double-digit growth, which is impressive. That's what you want to see. They're also including their integrated graphics solutions for laptops as well, and they compare it to some of the competition out there, Intel and NVIDIA, some of their integrated graphic solutions, and they're showing how this new solution that they have, which is going to be AMD's Ryzen powered by RDNA 2 graphics, is beating the market in the integrated graphics. And the first laptops powered by these new solutions are expected to be released on February of 2022, so a few weeks from now. But before we begin, let's take a listen to today's sponsor. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. Next, they also kind of pushed into more of the desktop solutions. They kind of made a refresh of their current 5000 series, but they're adding their 3D application. So Ryzen 7 5800X 3D is expected to come out in the spring of 2022. So again, that's what you want to see in the consumer market, a refresh and new products. They kind of give you great examples of how the 5800X 3D is better than their highest generation, the 5900X. And they also compare it to Intel's recent 1200 CPU. And again, showing some form of lead. Obviously, this is what you're going to see sometimes these kind of processors or the testing, they try to pick games that do really well so they can kind of really show some of this strength. Next, the most important one, I think this is, they did announce AMD Ryzen, the new Zen 4 processor, and this is expected to be released in the second half of 2022, in the second half of the market of 2022, and this is the one that I do believe will provide a nice amount of boost in revenue in the second half of this company's market. Again, that's during the holiday seasons, so I think that's a great move for AMD. Now they kind of moved a little bit into the graphics segment. Its graphics segment is still pretty high. One of the biggest growth that they're seeing here is in the laptop market, but not only in the laptop market, more in the high-end laptop and also the lightweight laptops. And that's personally, for example, as a content creator, a market I really enjoy. I want to have a powerful laptop. At the same time, I want to have a light laptop, and I usually pay a premium price for them. And that's the kind of market that AMD is hitting. That's where they're seeing the most growth. So they did announce first a new discrete graphics card for your regular desktop, the Radeon RX 6500. And that's expected to be released in January 19 of 2022, and the price is insane, $200. This is an entry-level graphics card. I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell out due to the overall mining in cryptocurrencies, but they also kind of announced a new kind of mobile, like I mentioned, that mobile solutions, and that's as well expected to be released in Q1 of 2022. Of 2022. So overall, I definitely enjoyed the products AMD released during the CES. Again, nothing mind-blowing in my opinion. The only thing that I thought was pretty good was the Zen 4 that right now is on production. They didn't release too much information. It's still on production, it's still being tested in the labs. We just know it's going to be in the second half of 2022. I do believe because they still haven't produced too many numbers, it's probably going to be in the late end of the year. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I can understand why AMD's stock price is down. For me, AMD is one that in the long term of things will be a great move. In the short term, like within the next 12 months, it'll be a very, very volatile play where we might see more red days than green days, just like today, 4.76% down, a position I personally would dollar cost average over time. So take care, guys. Have a good day and see you next time.